Hello, and welcome to a new update from the Markets Middleman. Today is Monday, May 18, and as usual, I'm about to share my view in terms of what I think could happen during this next week. So, without further ado, we see that last week had created a significant move on the DXY. The possibility that was mentioned but not focused on. So what I was focusing on during last week is one more sweep to those two relative equal lows and then potential reversal. But right after Monday, market consolidated. Tuesday directly confirmed the close above Monday, and really like price didn't stop, didn't get enough. Sorry, closed above this minor buy side or external buy side, sorry, on Thursday and creating a confirmed change of structure. We're back bullish on the DXY after this daily close over here. Now, during Friday, what happened? Price also managed to close above this buy side following with a break of structure. Now, until price reached this level, okay, this gap up and buy side on Monday swept Friday's high, tapping into this minor buy side. I think it's time for DXY to take a breath and start consolidating. But in terms of a draw on liquidity to the upside, the price is still open to cover all of this gap, which was created on Tuesday, April 7. So what I think will happen is the following. I'm definitely bullish on the XY, bullish until this daily gap to be filled, and if we closed above it, marking another break of structure, then the profile will be simply just trend following until we manage to sweep those two relative highs over here if we're going to take it level by level. So the area of interest that I'm expecting the XY to fill is this gap open on Friday, which is also a daily fair value gap. So let's see during today what price did already. So we've seen this gap open being swept with the market open, but then right after sweeping Friday's high and this buy side, look what price did. It changed the character for the first time on the hourly time frame, creating a 2-hour bearish fair value gap. So notice when was the last bearish fair value gap created? It was on last Monday. So market gapped higher, created a bearish fair value gap, couldn't deliver, okay, to those sell side liquidities. And just before those sell side, price started creating bullish fair value gaps, break of structure, and so on. This is the first time price closes above an internal low, but also create a bearish fair value gap. This is telling me that 100% I'm not buying from any level. Actually, price didn't reach anything. And in fact, I can be reversing price into the gap and the daily fair value gap, which offers like a long setup on EU, which I will show in a few seconds. But this is the game plan for at least Monday and Tuesday. I expect Monday to create a low. Maybe tomorrow during Tuesday we take Monday's low and we tap into this level. Over here, as you noticed, also there's other gaps. So if I see price going aggressively lower, it means that price would still wanna fill this imbalance over here, which aligns perfectly with this mitigation block over here. So I'm going to be patient on buying slash selling EU until I see a market structure shift around this level. I'll be participating in longs back into this buy side and covering the whole gap on the XY. Just for note, of course, if you don't know, I don't trade the DXY, but I analyze the DXY, and most correlated asset with the DXY inversely correlated is the EU. So if I'm looking to sell from here, it means I'm looking to buy EU. And if I'm looking to buy DXY, it means that I'm looking to sell EU. So with that being said, on the DXY, let's go into EU and show you what I'm looking for. So on EU last week we've had a pretty nice displacement to the downside on the daily time frame. So price couldn't go any one pip higher than last Friday's high. And in fact, price created the high on Monday. It depends on your broker. Yes, on some brokers it took also Friday high, but on FXCM, Monday high was already enough for price to take it on Tuesday and just rip lower for 4 consecutive days. Now, we already broke and changed. There has been already a change of character on the hourly time frame, and as I've said in the last forecast or last update, if we close the day below Friday's low, then I'm definitely bearish. And price did not only close below Friday's low, but it also continued its push aggressively to close below Thursday, April 30. So I'm definitely back bearish on the daily time frame, but notice where price just rested today. It tapped into a significant daily breaker block, which was created through 1, 2, 3, and 4 days, even 5 days, and filled all of this daily imbalance, which was really critical. So even though price wants to stay bearish, I think this level is enough to price to rotate higher, balance this daily fair value gap plus a daily breaker. So as you can see, also this level over here was significant for buyers on EU. So they were really trying to defend this area for a long time. We're talking about April 23 until May 5. So almost 2 weeks of protecting this level. So when I see this daily bearish fair value gap is engineered around this daily breaker, this means that if price goes higher, I'm gonna be really focusing around this level for any potential change in market structure and continue the push to the downside, at least to take the sell side and maybe just continue this overall bearish trend, continuing it, for example, to take those two relative equal lows, those two lows over here, and ultimately this sell side. So overall, yes, I am bearish, but also notice what happened today during the weekly open. So this is the area that I'm watching to short. Okay, this means that I'm never gonna short from here because I'll be shorting very low and it's very late to the party. But notice what happened. Price took Friday's low, tapped into the daily breaker block, and then created the first market structure shift. So you can see this as market structure shift closing above two minor buy side liquidities. This close of the 2 hour candle told me that yes, the possibility that this is actually a reversal pattern is gonna work out due to this close, which was London close today. So it provided me a bullish fair value gap on the 2 hour time frame, and notice how price closed above two breaker blocks. So what is this area on the 1 hour time frame? I'll show you what is this area. So this was the last bearish fair value gap that was created on Friday. Notice on Friday how many times price created the sell side liquidity. Just the weekly open, price just raided those sell sides and immediately created a displacement above this breaker as well as this breaker block. So it provided a 1 hour bullish fair value gap, 2 hour fair value gap, and an inverse fair value gap on the 1 hour. This inverse, if it wasn't aligning with those two breaker, I wouldn't have taken it into consideration. But the fact that it was already nested at this level, then this is really a level to consider. So for today, actually, I placed a buy limit order around the 2 hour fair value gap, protected my stop loss within this low over here, and I'm targeting this internal buy side liquidity. Now, the idea of this setup can deliver until Friday's high. So we've taken Friday low, Friday high should be taken. But because I have this like very clear buy side liquidity, I prefer to be out from today if price is gonna deliver the full delivery, and then I will wait price to go up on Tuesday, and then I'll be watching price on the 15 minutes time frame / the 1 hour for any significant market structure shift. Then I can be joining sellers from this level, for example. Of course, all of this is just anticipation, but this is the plan, and this is how we prepare for it, and we leave price to confirm whether it's gonna be a full delivery or not. So without further ado, yes, short term I am bullish until at least this minor buy side and until this daily level, but overall I'm bearish. I'm gonna be focusing here for any potential change in market structure until I target this sell side or probably the sell sides below that I already shared before. Last but not least is of course GU. I haven't placed any trade in May on GU, but simply because whenever I do have a presented trade on GU, it's just presenting it in a little bit better form on EU. So that's why all my trades for May are on EU, and hopefully at the end of this month, as I've done before for April, I will make a recap just dedicated for all of the trades that I've taken during May with full transparency. So for GU, I'm just waiting for at least a structure that could be a little bit better than EU's price action. But GU is showing us a significant information. So after all of this push to the downside and the first change of character on the daily, price went sideways, creating a daily high or a pivot high and a pivot low. And all of this was like kind of consolidation. But if you look to the bigger picture, you've seen, or at least I can see this as a full retracement to cover all of the imbalances and just retrace higher from all of this wave. But then price created a high, raided the highs, then created internal highs and displaced lower. So I see this as a huge market structure shift, sweep, displacing below a critical level on the daily, creating a huge daily fair value gap, huge imbalance, and already, I mean, price could be ready to just keep on going down, continue the overall narrative, which is bearish. But short term, if you see price, where did price reached? It's a daily breaker. On some brokers, on other brokers I was checking, it was a full tap into the body. But just on FXCM, there was a little change in the price of the breaker block. So what I'm looking for GU, because we've taken Friday's low, I'm not gonna be aggressively shorting from this daily fair value gap. In fact, I will wait price to retrace higher, and the optimal trade level I think is gonna be at this daily breaker over here. So GU, notice how this level was significant on the daily time frame. So we've had a breaker, a buy side liquidity, again buy side for a couple of days, then it closed higher, and then all of those engineered sell sides was created at this level. And right now this is nested within a daily breaker block. So this is really significant for GU, anticipating the continuation of the overall bearish trend. On GU, I didn't have the clear structure for today to be able to buy GU. We've had this 2 hour bullish fair value gap, but price couldn't actually balance all of it. So I haven't had the chance to like a significant area of interest just like what I've seen on EU, but I also took the information from GU that yes, it looked already bullish. The momentum to the downside is just dying, so there's no reason for price to push any further lower. This level that I'm watching on the daily is also a 4 hour fair value gap aligning with all of this liquidity. So this over here, guys, is really significant for a GU. And I wanna share just one thing regarding GU. What I love about GU is that it's a wild asset. It's a wild asset. You've seen all of this down move. The retracement higher was pretty aggressive. So price could at any time trap buyers that we change the market. But look where was the protected high. Even within this break of structure, look, the protected high was way higher. Even at this one, break of structure, protected high was well higher. And like, if we take this as a reference, this shows us a great potential because price could push like this and seem to be very bullish until it reaches a critical level, and at least we can take this sell side. I'm not saying GU will crash after it, but at least we can take this sell side again. So really keeping a close eye at this level. By the time I'm recording this, I'm keeping an eye on the EU position, and so far as a trade management, I can just trail my stop loss to this low. Because we've taken London high, I can take my stop loss from this low into this low. I can trail my stop loss into this low, and of course waiting for the full target to be taken. Really great idea for today, starting off the week. Just also a small note before I leave you. What made this setup a high probability is that Monday took Friday's low. But if Monday opened like this, and I've seen a displacement, I wouldn't have entered, because Monday and Friday low could still be taken when through Tuesday, and Tuesday I would have seen the potential reversal. But just because Monday took Friday's low, this is a significant information that it opened up the target to balance the daily fair value gap as well as Friday's high. So I just, maybe I've mentioned something similar, but I wanted to emphasize more on this idea. All in all, this is my alert on the DXY. I'm waiting for price to test this level, and then I will see what will happen. Guys, thank you if you made it that far. I'm seeing that more people are watching those updates, and this was the intention ever since I started this series, is to just help you out. I remember myself when I used to trade in the beginning phase, I used to wait for my mentor to just upload a video for me to take notes and stuff. So I'm really blessed to be this person right now, and I still have a lot to learn. So hopefully we're gonna have a beautiful journey together. Let me know if you are benefiting from those kind of updates, and I will see you in the next update. Thank you so much, and let's trade safe.